Hey all, welcome back to Howieverse. This is your host Howie. In this video, we're going to explore the Adobe stock price action. I'll show you why the stock has bottomed out or near its bottom. Also, if it does go lower, where would I add to my current position? So let's get to it. There are three factors why the stock has bottomed out or near its bottom. So if you look at the chart right here where I draw this white horizontal line, you see that there's a support right here where the stock goes up and then go down here and bounce back up, and then again it happens over here before it rips a lot higher. And when you see when it's bottom up over here as well, it also touches this resistance and also right over here. So this white horizontal line is a really strong support for Adobe stock, right? And the second thing is that this horizontal line also coincide with this downtrending sloping white line over here that starts from the all-time high, and it also appears through here where there are a lot of choppiness, right? And you see when it touches this line, it goes back up, and the same thing here, when it touches this line, it bounces back up. Same thing here, right? And then the same thing here. So eventually, if we see this pattern where it touches this line and also coincide with this line, right? So there are two factors that's telling you that these two lines has a really strong support case for this stock, and for the short term, likely where it's gonna go is gonna go up. Also, the third thing that I will show you that this is really cool is that over the past earnings, right? If you look at this earning, the earning beats 2.41%, and the revenue beats 1.18%. This one also beat. This one also beat. This one also beat. This one also beat. This one beat. This one beat. And this one beat. So ever since from 2020 or early 2020, the stock has been beating the analysts. So the estimation of the stock itself for the earnings and the revenue quarter over quarter has been beating the analysts. And what happened to the stock? You look at the stock when Adobe stock beats the analyst estimate, the stock goes down. And the same thing here, the stock goes down even more. And this is probably the outlier here where the stock is going up, right? And then here it goes down. Right after the earning is not good, the stock goes down. Right after the earning, the stock is not good, the stock goes down. Right after the earning, the stock goes down. Right after the earning, the stock goes down, right? And here is really funny where right after the earning, the stock does nothing, right? It it goes down maybe a little bit or it goes up by a little bit. However, generally, like in terms of like this jump from the earnings, the stock has been doing nothing, right? So it's just basically chopping sideways. That indicates that the stock itself has find the bottom possibly where it the reality matches the expectation. However, if you look at the stock where the stock here is beating, and it's not by much, it's only by 2% um, for the earnings, and also this one is only like a very slight beat in the revenue. However, the stock rips a lot higher. Generally, based on these three factors here, really strong support line over here, and that coincide with the downtrending line from all-time high all the way to over here. In addition, the stock hasn't done anything since the earnings. This may indicate that the stock expectation has matched the reality and it's currently properly priced. Thus, I think the stock has bottomed up at this level. Even so, if the stock has not bottomed out yet, but what I would likely to see if it does goes back to this white horizontal line right here, I'm considering buying a lot more, adding to my current position, right? And if it does go lower, I would like to see that the stock bounce back to this point right here at around $276. that coincide with this low and also during the COVID low. If you think that the Adobe stock hasn't done a lot much better in terms of the business ever since the COVID low, then I don't know what to say anymore. I think the stock has a lot more to offer than when it was at the COVID low. So at the price of 275 $76, I'm considering buying a lot more Adobe stocks. And I don't think Adobe stock is going away anytime soon. And since their AI integration that they implemented into all of this product, and they have product in vertical integrated into all aspect of this product itself, right from the creative all the way to the marketing, I believe Adobe stock is going to stay here for a lot longer. Like I said, if Adobe stock goes back down to this white horizontal line right here at $330, I'll buy more. And if it goes back down a lot more at $275, I'll considering buying a lot more as well. However, that's the downside. Let's talk about the upside, right? So if the current position that what I have now is sufficient and I'm not thinking about adding more if it does going up higher. And where can it go higher is that first I want to see if retest this red line right here, right? So if you look at the near term of the red line, where it peers down onto this red line and then it goes back to drawn back to this red line, goes back lower. And essentially what I want to see if that this red line is actually is a resistance for the stock, and at around the price of $376. If it goes up there, then it will retest this line for the near term. Likely is going to be on this earning right here. And since the stock has bottomed out based on the three factors that I talked about earlier, there is possible that the stock is going to retest this red line and potentially taking out the red line and going a lot more higher, and possibly going all the way to this line right here. So for example, if you look at this line, right? So currently, let's just say if you buy at this price and if it goes up here, right, in the short term, that's a 20 around 25% upside if it does retest the yellow line. Also, if you look longer for the red line right here, there is a resistance here and then also resistance. And also for this one is actually a support. So the red line actually holds a lot of weight in terms of this resistance. So it's gonna be really tough for Adobe stock to beat this red line. And if it does, it's going to take a lot of momentum and a lot of surprise for the stock to take out this red line. That's it, y'all. I hope that helps, whether if you are a current Adobe stock owner or you're thinking about buying Adobe stock. If you're thinking about buying Adobe stock, I think the current price is properly priced. However, there are two places that I am considering buying even more if it goes down lower. I'll see you next time.